More wintry weather on the way for much of KELOLAND as we head through the rest of the evening and into the night. Notice all that snow continuing to move on through portions of western, north central, and northeastern KELOLAND. So we are not done with this, unfortunately, not by a decent bit. Wind and snow for Aberdeen, Pierre, and Rapid City. Maybe a little bit of mixing overnight in Sioux Falls as temperatures do briefly drop below freezing. A chilly, windy day on Wednesday. More blowing snow concerns north and west of Sioux Falls, but there is good weather to talk about eventually. More on that coming up. First to 4 starts right now.
Live from KELOLAND Media Group, KELOLAND News first at 4.
We check out the latest road conditions across KELOLAND as this latest winter storm makes travel nearly impossible.
Plus, Donald Trump has pleaded not guilty to 34 counts of falsifying business records. We have the latest on the indictment of the former president straight ahead.
And later, we look at the efforts in southwest Minnesota to provide affordable daycare. Good afternoon, and thanks for tuning in to First at 4. I'm Don Jorgensen.
And I'm Kelly Volk. I-90 between Spearfish and Rapid City has reopened. However, the interstate is still closed between Wall and Rapid City. Authorities say there will likely be more closures along I-90 east of Wall later today. I-29 is also closed from Watertown to the North Dakota border.
There are also no travel advisories on highways across southwest and northeast parts of the state. This is due to strong winds, blowing snow, and low visibility. Authorities say that road conditions are expected to deteriorate overnight, with travel becoming extremely difficult, almost impossible. They are urging people to stay home and off the roads.
It's pretty tough out there.
Yeah, it looks miserable, doesn't it?
But pretty uneventful here in the Sioux Falls area, Adam.
Yeah, it certainly has been noticeably quieter. Still a little on the miserable side because it's just barely mild enough for it to be rain, but that or what they're seeing in Rapid City. It's really a case of pick your poison. 22 a north wind at 21 miles per hour as we take a look in Pennington County. The visibility is getting poor at times due to all of that snow, not to mention the blowing snow as well. Compare that to what we have here in Sioux Falls. Here is Falls Park, even a little bit of fog in the distance. 35 with a persistent light drizzle and a northeast wind at 19 miles per hour. These are some snow totals as of 4 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Mountain Time. Hot Springs leading the way, and it's not even close. A 2-day total there of 30 inches of snow. Custer at 21.5, Rapid City just under a foot, Edgemont and Box Elder both at 11, Interior 8 inches of snow, Aberdeen officially at 6 inches so far, more on the way as we head into the night, Martin at 4 along with Andover, Falkton 3, Hayes at 2 inches of snow. Again, more on the way. This will be updated as we head over the course of the evening and into your day on Wednesday as well. For what it's worth, we are above freezing. Sioux Falls points south and east, even near 50 towards Spencer. They're at 46, with 29 in Aberdeen, 25 for Pierre, 21 Faith and Spearfish, where they are still under a winter storm warning. That winter storm warning also goes into the western part of Rapid City. It's basically I-90 from Wyoming to Rapid City, where you have that winter storm warning, and for Lawrence County. Winter weather advisories now for the central and southern Black Hills, as well as Butte, Harding, and Perkins counties, and winter weather advisories remain in effect from Tripp County, north and east into Mitchell, Madison, Watertown, and eventually into southwestern Minnesota. For everybody in white, that is still a blizzard warning into Wednesday night. Even as the snow dissipates Wednesday afternoon, the wind is going to be sticking around for a little while longer. But like I said at the top of the show, there is a better run of weather on the way, and pretty good weather even. We'll talk about that coming up.
Thanks, Adam. Well, from interstate closures to the Rapid City Airport closing, this week's winter storm is causing all kinds of problems.
KELOLAND Sydney Thorson talks with law enforcement as she previews her story for 6.
Since the winter storm started, the Pennington County Sheriff's Office has reported several cars getting stuck, as well as people sliding off the roads.
But other than that, people have been doing a great job just staying off the roads and keeping us available for any unusual incidents we may have to respond to.
I give you an update on this week's winter storm in the full story later tonight. In Rapid City, Sydney Thorson, KELOLAND News.
And there are severe storms stretching from the Midwest to the South today and tomorrow. The fierce storms that began Friday spawned tornadoes in 11 states. Forecasters say more severe weather is forecast into this evening along Missouri, Iowa, and Illinois. Then tomorrow, more storms will impact Illinois, Michigan, and the Ohio Valley. Meteorologists are also warning for fire danger in the south.
Meanwhile, a southern Minnesota city is under a flood warning. Northfield is already seeing some standing water. The snowmelt is feeding the rushing waters of the Cannon River, which runs right through the city. The river is expected to keep rising overnight. The National Weather Service says that river cities south of St. Paul could also start to see some flooding soon.
Former President Donald Trump has pleaded not guilty to 34 felony counts of falsifying business records.
The charges stem from alleged hush money payments to an adult film star just before the 2016 election. KELOLAND News Washington, D.C. correspondent Jesse Turner reports on Trump's arraignment.
Trump didn't say anything publicly before learning the charges against him and remained stone-faced throughout the entire process. After facing investigations for more than 4 decades, for the first time, former President Donald Trump was arraigned on criminal charges Tuesday after a grand jury indictment based on alleged hush money payments to an adult film star just before the 2016 election. Trump pleaded not guilty and accuses Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg of what he calls political persecution. But Bragg stands by his investigation. As expected, the former president's arraignment was brief, but supporters and opponents crowded outside the courthouse all day, including members of New York's congressional delegation, like Democrat Jamal Bowman.
We are here to make sure that justice is served and that we push back against hateful rhetoric.
Republican George Santos defended Trump.
I'm not here for the cameras. I'm here to support the President of the United States, who's being unfairly attacked by a DA.
White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said President Joe Biden is not commenting on the case.
This is not his focus for today.
But Florida Republican Congressman Greg Steube made it clear House Republicans will make Bragg the focus of their own investigations.
There's a lot of different things that the Republican majority in the House has in their toolbox to be able to get to the bottom of the information and what's happening in Manhattan.
And what comes next could take months as both sides go over the indictment and weigh whether to consider things like a motion to dismiss or change venue. In Washington, I'm Jesse Tenor.
In Iowa, dozens of people in the Akron Westfield School District gathered to share their concerns after a violent attack at the high school was caught on video. About 70 parents, community members, and students gathered at the Akron Golf Club last night. The video appeared on social media last week. Now, we won't show the video due to its violent nature and out of respect for the student who was attacked. Parents say they know their children are watching to see how they respond.
I'm concerned about our children's safety when they come to school. I don't want this incident to define what our school is and the culture that lies within the school. And I think that our kids are watching our response and how we come together as parents in a community and unite and help provide them with what they need to feel safe.
The student suspected in the attack was detained by law enforcement. So far, there's been no word on whether charges will be filed.